Hey guys, it's Mark, and in today's piece, we're going to be talking about the buyer prospect workflow. This is going to just be an overview of what happens from a lead as it comes into the system, goes through the conversion process, and ultimately turns into a transaction. So the first step is, of course, the new lead notification that comes in. You'll get a notification on your app. You'll get a text message, an email. There'll be all sorts of ways notifying you that there's a new lead to come in, and we've got to jump on this thing like right away. Okay, it's called speed to lead. I cannot stress the importance of getting in communication with a lead by phone as quickly as possible from the time that it comes in. Imagine what happens. You're on your computer as a buyer and you find a property that's of interest to you. You get prompted to put all your information in. You say, all right, fine, I'll put it in. And you put it in and you continue looking at that property and others. Okay. You're probably going to do that for like a couple minutes, maybe 5 at the most. That is the window at which we are going to have the best opportunity to have a quality conversation with that lead because they are looking at the product in that moment. And every minute that goes by after that, they're off to doing other things. They could be going back to work, they could be doing the laundry, they could be going to the grocery store. Who knows? Right? But so most importantly is getting into a conversation with them at the time that they're looking at the homes. Okay? Now, with that, agents should make the first attempt by phone as quickly as possible, but if no one answers, all right, leave a voicemail, but only on the first attempt. Okay, we just as a general rule, do not leave voicemails. There just frankly is not going to be anything that we could really leave in the way of content on the voicemail that's going to prompt them to get back to us. It's more as an accountability to let them know that we did try that first time. So if no one answers, leave them a voicemail on that first attempt only. Next up, point number 4, we want to confirm their contact information in our Forewarn app. Right? Let's go ahead and drop that first voicemail and then go into the app and say, okay, is this the actual person that called? And, of course, confirm the phone number. Maybe it's off by a digit or two. Go ahead and make the adjustment and then get the real phone number. And then point number 5, we're going to go through what's called the 333. Okay, so over the next 3 days, okay, we're going to drop 3 phone calls, we're going to drop 3 texts, and 3 emails. Okay, so this is, if you can imagine, over the next 3 days, they're going to get like 9 calls. Okay, they're going to get 3 text messages from us and 3 emails. No other voicemails. Don't spend the time to do that. If there's no contact, right, over those 3 days, okay, then they're just going to be automatically moved into the lead pond and the dial system for bulk calling later, right? So, but let's not worry about that. Let's assume that you've made contact, okay? We're going to use the buyer prospect script to go ahead and set an appointment. And the purpose of that appointment is to either meet them at the property of interest that they, had dug up online, or to get them to meet us at either the office or a third-party location for a buyer consultation. But now remember, we're only going to be meeting with them if they are ready to buy in the next 30 days. Okay, and that could also mean willing to get pre-qualified, willing to go look at homes. This is somebody that's in the buy window of, let's just call it, the next month. If you're talking to somebody that's 6 months, a year out, they've got a lease or whatever condition that it is, let's not worry about that group. Set them aside, put them in a lead follow-up for every month until they are ready to go. Let's stay focused on setting appointments with and meeting with people that are ready to go in the next 30 days. Okay, remember, they do not need to be pre-qualified by the lender to meet them for the first time. Okay, remember, just for the first time, they do not need to be pre-qualified. So let's not worry about if they've already spoken to a lender, if they're willing to talk to ours. Let's not overqualify. As it says here, we should be meeting with 75% of the people that we set appointments with, right? So let's not be so focused on trying to find this cookie cutter buyer that's ready to sign a deal this afternoon. Let's get out in the field and meet with people every single day, all right? Next point, number 8, ask the buyer if they've been pre-qualified to go ahead and bring that letter, right? Or if they're paying cash to bring a proof of funds to the appointment, okay? If you're getting resistance here, I'm going to say use your better judgment. Okay, as we say, cooperation and motivation go together. If they're giving you resistance to this, I would just simply just ask some qualifying questions as to, would they be willing to? Is there any specific reason why they wouldn't? And then I'd say just say trust your gut to say, is this somebody that I should still proceed to meet with? Okay, we're going to send them 10 to 20 properties from the MLS. Once we've got this appointment set, we're going to send them this group of properties, and this is like our opportunity to find a place to meet. It could be 1, 2, 3 homes that they're going to pick out of this group, and once we've sent the properties, be sure to send them a text message, right? Say, listen, I just sent those homes to your email. Would you please review them? I'm going to be calling you here shortly. Call them back. It's got to be same day. Call them back to confirm which property or multiple homes they want to look at for that appointment that's already been set. Okay, now get this, very, very common. The buyer gets the properties, and when you call them back or you text them, they say, you know what, none of those work for me. I'm just going to cancel the appointment. All right, so this is a big opportunity for you to handle that objection, to say that, based on that finding, let's do this. We're going to keep the appointment, but we're just going to change the location. Let's meet at my office, or let's meet at the local coffee shop in the marketplace where they're buying, and then let's just convert it from a showing appointment to a buyer consultation, okay, which is ultimately what we're after anyway. Right, so they're not liking any of the properties doesn't mean no go. It just means speed up the process to get to that consultation. Okay, if the initial appointment is at the property, okay, even better. We're gonna show them the home, walk through, see if it's something that they like, and they're qualified to buy it on the spot. Go ahead and ask them to buy it. Right, that's what we're there for. If it turns out the house does not work for them, good possibility. No problem. Let's on the spot convert either that appointment right there to a buyer consultation. I mean, like, do it right in the living room of the home that you're showing. Or, if you're pressed for time or there's another showing coming in behind you, just ask them, hey, let's go down the street. Let's go to that local coffee shop and sit down for a couple minutes and let me understand a little better what it is that you're looking for. So the next one we walk into is one that you might want to buy. Okay, so at the buyer consultation, whether it be, whether that be in the consultation in the home that you just viewed, or if it's at the office, we're going to use that buyer consultation script. Okay, we're going to use the buyer power checklist items, right? Both of those are in the Dropbox. You can look at those. Most importantly is we're going to get that buyer broker signed. Guys, we're not going to show property to any buyer that is not willing to sign this buyer broker. And there's a host of reasons for that. First of which is, I don't know about you, but I don't like to waste time. I want to know that I've got somebody that's committed to working with me as I am to them. And it's a big qualifier for the quality of buyer that you're working with. So let's get that thing signed. Okay. Next up is upon agreement to work together. This is point number 15. To go ahead and set a showing time to look at some other homes, give enough time after that to look at a few homes. It could be later that day. It could be next day, depending on where they're at with the pre-qualifying process. If they still need to go through a couple of steps there, then maybe set it for a day or two out. But most importantly, don't let them leave the buyer consultation without a future appointment set. We want to get it in their mind that we're going to be meeting with them soon and frequently, right? And then, of course, you want to change that pipeline in the CRM to signed so that then we know that you've got that buyer contract all ready to go. Okay. If by chance you have the buyer consultation and they do not sign the agreement, okay, it can happen, right? Just go ahead and leave that pipeline to appointment met, or whatever you think the best appropriate is. Is it that you're not going to be working with them, they signed with an agent, whatever it is. And in point number 16, most importantly, evaluate. Okay, this is an opportunity to learn rather than earn. As we say, there's an opportunity for one or both of those in any given opportunity. So let's evaluate what, could I have pre-qualified better? Could I have presented better? Could I have handled an objection better? Could I have closed for the signature better? Whatever the case may be. Was there a condition that I could have done nothing about? Who knows? But let's evaluate. Let's learn from each missed opportunity. All right. And then, assumably that we go ahead and get that appointment set. We're going to get our MLS search set up now, right? Remember, the initial blast is for just a one-time pick some properties. We do not set up automatic searches for anybody that we don't have a buyer broker signed with. The automatic searches on Multilist are for clients only, buyer broker signed clients only. Go ahead and get that set up. And, assumably there'll be a couple that they'll want to look at by the date that you had set up in the consultation. Super important point number 18 is that future showings are to only occur once the buyer's been pre-approved. Okay, so if they haven't yet, wait until you get that in hand for all future showings. And most importantly is that all the decision makers are going to be at each of the showings. Okay, this is where so many opportunities are missed, is the agent showing up, the wife is there, the husband is not. The agent shows up there, the husband is there, and the wife is not. Okay, and what do you think the chances are that the buyer without their spouse is going to choose to buy the home that they love without them there? It's not going to happen. Okay, so if you find out when you call to confirm the appointment that one of the decision makers is going to be there, we're going to ask to reschedule. Okay, and if they're adamant because the buyer's significant other is out of town, then we want to get them available by FaceTime or video chat, however you can do it, to a Zoom perhaps, to get them on the phone and available for that showing, with full agreement that if the one spouse likes it in person and the other one likes it by video, that you'll be writing an offer on it. Do not get trapped into, showing it to the one and then they're going to explain it to the other one and then they're going to get back to you and then they're going to go look at it again. Guys, this is not the market for that. It's just not a good business practice as a whole, but especially in today's market, you've got, in most cases, one shot to get into the house and get an offer written on it before someone else does, and usually multiple someones. All right, so let's get in there, get it shown, and if they like it, get that offer written on the spot. Okay, now look, you go 2-3 appointments and the buyer has not bought. Okay, it is time to reevaluate. Okay, this is point number 19. We've got to reevaluate that motivation. Okay, let's determine if, based on how we, rediscover their motivation, is this somebody that we want to continue to work with? Or is it really not the right time for them? Are they not realistic? Is the price point perhaps just not there for them on what they can afford? Okay, are their expectations and the reality just not in line? It's entirely possible. Okay, and you're going to have to make that decision on a case-by-case basis. But most importantly, and the reason why we have it in all caps here, do not be attached to the outcome. Okay, guys, it's just get prepared for the reality that you're going to have people that you set appointments with, that you show homes to, that you get buyer consultations signed with, that do not buy a house from you or from anyone for that matter. It happens. Okay, don't be attached to the outcome. If they show any interest in the home at all, ask them to buy it. Okay, as it says here, be assertive. Okay, we have got to take control of the buying process with the buyers, because let's be honest, in most cases, this is the biggest purchase of their lives. And without some direction from the professional salesperson, they're going to wander off. Okay, and the second that they get off that property, guys, and the emotion fades and the logic starts to kick in, how likely do you think that they're going to want to write an offer then? Right? So you're in the home, they like it, write it up. Okay, if you've got somebody that's banging on the door trying to get in for the second appointment, no problem. Write it up in the front yard. Right? Let's just take advantage of the emotion of the situation and get them ultimately what it is that they want. Okay, if they don't like it, hey, move on. But if it's even close in today's market, sign it up. All right? Be assertive, guys. So this is our buyer prospect workflow. Okay, be sure to review the PDF and certainly look forward to seeing this in practice with you guys. And I do look forward to next time.